Hello and welcome to ETV Bharat for this special and exclusive interview of Dr. Subramanyam Swamy. Dr. Swamy is known for his strong and critical opinion on foreign affairs, international affairs, political and economical matters, and now he's also being labelled as a man, as a rebel within the party. Thank you very much, Dr. Swamy, for joining us for this special interview. Dr. Swamy, it's been a month ever since the Russian invasion happened. As per the UN estimates, 10 million people have been internally displaced. Nearly 4 million people have been forced to flee out of Ukraine, and economical sanctions are being imposed on Russia. But since then, even then, the war hasn't stopped. My question to you is, sir, do you think that Ukraine has become a pawn or a victim of contest between two major powers?
Not at all. Not yet, anyway. It is an unprovoked attack by a power which was once upon a time considered superpower when it was Soviet Union. Now it's only a small fraction of that Soviet Union, which is called Russia. When there was Soviet Union, Ukraine was also part of it. This Russia and Mr. Putin, who has turned out to be a most undemocratic dictator, if I can use two contradictory terms, and he has now gone in saying it will take only 3 days, but it's now 34 days or 35 days, and the people are fighting very valiantly. Yes, the America, for example, and its allies, they are assisting them in terms of giving them weapons. But otherwise they are, and that too after much pleading by the Ukrainians.
Zelensky has been addressing different
That's
parliaments.
right, that's right. But now there's a lot of sympathy which has developed for Ukraine, because Ukraine is a defenseless country, and the Russians have crossed an international boundary accepted by the United Nations, that boundary, and they are trying to grab the territories. And they are using modern weapons to blow up buildings, and they are targeting civilians. And so I think it's more a bully and a valiant resistor of that bully that is going on. It's not between two superpowers.
Dr. Swamy, how could anyone justify Russia's invasion? I mean, if you see the statements coming from the Kremlin, they are saying that their security stakes. They had their own security stakes.
They say what? That these people were going to join NATO. Now the Ukrainian president has very clearly said that I will not join NATO. I will not even ask to be joined to join NATO. So then stop it. If you have no intention of taking over Ukraine or parts of Ukraine, then what are you fighting for? The Ukrainians have not aggressed into Russia. They have not taken any territory of Russia. When 1992 the Soviet Union broke up into little pieces, it was agreed that Ukraine will be this area. And it was mutually agreed, and then both sides came to diplomatic relations. And both are members of the United Nations. So no, there's no other matter except that the Putin has miscalculated, and I think he himself is now in great danger of losing his position.
Dr. Swamy, how do you see the role of United Nations? Several resolutions has been passed, but war is still
I know.
continuing.
But the United Nations essentially is a place for debate. I don't think it's a place for action. Only if there's a small country and that has to have a United Nations peacekeeping force sent, it is effective. It can go to Congo and send, have United Nations police and all. But when a superpower gets involved,
when it comes to P5,
yes, P5, and that also Russia is illegally there because that seat was for USSR. There's no USSR. So how there are 16 parts of USSR. They're all become members now. Why is it that you selected the Russians as the representative or the continuing part of this thing. Even today in the UN, it is not listed as Russia, it's listed as USSR.
Yes. Dr. Swamy, how do you see the role of New Delhi's reaction on this conundrum at United Nations? We have been abstaining at almost every vote.
It's a very weak thing. We are buying weapons from Russia. And we are spreading this propaganda that Russia has always stood by us.
And Ukraine is pro-Pakistan. There is also an argument that Ukraine has always been pro-Pakistan.
Yes, but what is the evidence of that?
Yes.
This is just propaganda. First of all, Russia has never stood by India because Russia came into being only in 1992.
Yes, after the collapse of Soviet.
1971, it was the Soviet Union which came to us. That time, Ukraine was also part of the Soviet Union. So you can say Ukraine also came to our assistance at that time.
But in late 90s, when we tested our nuclear test, Ukraine was the one who opposed at.
That's all right. The Americans opposed it. We are all the time falling over the Americans, wanting to be friends with them. What is the difficulty?
But Dr. Swamy, don't you think that we are sitting on the fence in this conundrum? We are not giving any categorical statement.
We are. It's a human rights issue. And an aggression has been clearly done by Russia against Ukraine. We should have stood with Ukraine.
So you are saying that we should at least condemn Russia's military invasion?
Absolutely, and offer Red Cross or the equivalent of Red Cross, or help people in Ukraine to survive this.
Yes, we are providing humanitarian assistance to Ukraine as well.
Well, it's a different kind of humanitarian. It's not really humanitarian.